Hey, what's up guys? It is Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So I have to apologize for any noise that you might hear in the back. That is my air conditioner. It's over 90 degrees and I really will die without it. So thank you for understanding that, and now let's jump right into the video. So going on with our lore series of the new timeline for SOULCALIBUR 6 brought about because it's a reboot in fact, we're going to be talking about Zasalamel today. And without further introduction, we're just going to jump right in. Zasalamel was born into a clan called the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. Though an excellent warrior, he was arrogant and broke his clan's rules to never use the sword after which they were named. As a consequence of his disobedience, both his arms were fractured, and he was cast out. Still, he remained defiant and began gathering knowledge of the ancient arts in hope of discovering the secret resurrection. Over time, Zasalamel became the greatest wizard of his generation. However, he had made a grave misjudgment about exactly resurrection entailed. The pain of death at the moment of each rebirth was far more intense than anything he had previously imagined. Alas, even death itself was to be no release. The cost of immortality was never knowing the sweet release of death. Over time, Zasalamel forgot the feeling of joy, until all he desired was eternal rest. In all the hopes of escaping the endless cycle, he once wielded Soul Edge. However, the spell was not broken, and once again he returned to the land of the living. Around that time, his family, who had sworn to protect the Spirit Sword, had weakened and fallen apart. SOULCALIBUR's whereabouts were a mystery, but the newly reborn Zasalamel knew that the sword was not lost. If he could get his hands on both the blade and the cursed sword, he could finally taste a real death. In order to fulfill his aims, he operated in secret. All the while, though, he had a feeling that he could not shake. Someone or something was urging him to live. In the short moment between life and death, he saw a bright future for the world, and it brought hope to his heart. He wanted to see that bright future realized. It was time to stop fixating on death. Though it was only his intuition, he now saw before him a new world full of potential. Perhaps his beacon of hope was a memory of sorts, a gift to himself sent back from the future. In other Soul Chronicles, Zasalamel encountered Geralt, as the Witcher was just teleported from this world, and then battled the Witcher to ascertain his power, and then quietly took his lead. A few years after Nightmare's defeat, Zasalamel found Tira looking in for the Azure Knight in Ostrheinsburg. After a fight, he revealed the true nature of Soul Edge, as the sword manipulated Nightmare to collect human souls for power. Zasalamel then retreated, as he considered Tira at least worthy of pursuing the cursed sword. In Libra of Souls, after the Conduit experienced the Nightmare, Zasalamel directed them to harness the power of the astral fissures to survive the evil seed. As they closed the fissure, he gave the Conduit a spirit scale, to show them how they're balanced towards chaos and order. When the Conduit faced Aswell, Zasalamel intervened and helped the Conduit discover Aswell's goal of creating the ultimate seed. Later, after Conduit defeated Aswell and stopped the ultimate seed, Zasalamel congratulated them on saving the world. But Zasalamel was soon sought by the Conduit again. After they learned the Black Demon is Grow, after hearing of their promise to stop Grow if he became outfested, Zasalamel suggested that they use the sword they wielded to defeat Aswell, either Soul Edge or SOULCALIBUR. To everyone he meets, Zasalamel displays aloof yet cunning personality, mainly showing that he is neutral in the conflict and gives information only to those he considers worthy. But in reality, he has an ambition to be the leader for mankind. Thanks to the visions he received from his original future self, thus Zasalamel is not afraid to manipulate others for his goals. In Libra of Souls, Zasalamel initially acts as a guide for the Conduit to stop Aswell, but afterwards he starts to reveal his own agenda for helping them on their quest. Zasalamel's self-taught style takes full advantage of the scythe's length in order to be deadly at any rage. The key to victory for its practitioners call for a unique dependence on curses to draw their enemies in, as well as magic that can stop the flow of time. Kopziel. No matter how many times he lives, Zasalamel can always be seen with a scythe in one hand. Whether he is reborn with the memories of his past lives return and collects Zasalamel, which his previous incarnation is always hidden away. The weapon's name means Angel of Death, and its curved edge has tasted oceans of blood in the service of its master. Zasalamel is the mastermind behind 1,001 plots and intrigues, but he does not just pull the strings from afar. Whenever something needs doing, he does it himself. Any who believe themselves clever or strong enough to meddle in the currents of history will find themselves at odds with the seasoned manipulator. But pawn or king, Zasalamel will not hesitate to bring his scythe to bear and eliminate peace he deems irrelevant to eradicate his plans. Zasalamel's fighting techniques originate from those who are passed down by the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. However, he has refined his technique over the courses of countless lives and innumerable battles, to the point where it's difficult to detect any trace of the style's origin. Although the dignified sweeps of his massive scythe are what impresses first about this form, he also makes use of extensive knowledge of magic during battle. The ancient curses he weaves around his enemies are impossible to detect, unless their power is at its peak, but by then it's far too late, and with the snap of his fingers, it ushers his victims to their demise. In short, Zasalamel's unique style is all his own, and likely impossible for the average person to master. Zasalamel likes to carefully evaluate his opponent, all while slowly, ever so slowly, backing them into a corner from which they cannot escape. The methodical way he stalks his prey, and the inevitable conclusion to finding him your foe, makes him seem like an incarnation of the Grim Reaper himself. If somehow an opponent is able to escape Zasalamel's many curses and traps, or even land a blow, they may end up witnessing a terrifying abysmal form that Zasalamel keeps locked hidden within. So, Zasalamel is an awesome character, and he's one of the characters that I like a lot, mainly because he started in 3, and as you guys know, SOULCALIBUR 3 is my favorite SOULCALIBUR game. So the fact that he is the main boss in that, and now is going on to taking on more of a mentorship role, though that could be contested, trying to bring about, you know, this awesome future where he's going to lead humanity. This is ultimately going to put him at ends with, like, Aswell, and even Algol for that matter. But it's going to be interesting to see where his character leads him in the future. I'm curious as to what role he's going to play. He's one of those characters that could really go either way and do anything that he really wants, but it's really up to the people that he's encountering to see if they're going to change him in any way, though it's doubtful because he has so much experience on the battlefield from resurrecting so many countless times that I'm sure he doesn't really find anything anyone has to say of any value. Maybe he sees power in the conduit and wants to use our capabilities for his own ends, or maybe the now partially controlled malfested state of those like Keeley can grow. But it's really hard to determine like where he's going to go from here, as he's such a secretive character. But do you guys like his present self or his past self? It's hard to say because he's the one character in this series that like you can say maybe his past actually timeline is canon because of the fact that he reincarnates so many times. Maybe that series of events was just one incarnation of his life, and now that we're moving on to a different timeline, he was reborn this way. But also that can be countered with the fact that nobody else's stories have come over except for his. So maybe they just really changed it altogether. Or maybe that's what happened in one of his dreams and that timeline was destroyed due to like the actions of Pyrrha and Pariah. But I don't know, that's all just speculation and guessing at this point. But I'm curious to say what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. So I'm going to check back down there and I want to see you guys starting up conversations with why you like Zasalamel, this new version or the past iterations, with not only me but with each other as well, so we can get a conversation going, especially so we can start to show these things on Friday in our community video. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thank you for being patient with me. Thanks for watching and liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And as always, thank you, and thick you.
Hey, what's up guys? Have you always wanted some sweet Mark Yoon merch? Maybe a thick U shirt, maybe a shirt from Squirt, maybe my pretty face with my logo all over your body, or a throw pillow, or blanket, or anything? Well, you're in luck because I just launched my merch store and it is going to be available on Redbubble, and you will find a link to it in my description box down below. It's got a lot of quality content and a lot of good stuff for you to pick up so you can show your support for the channel and just rep Mark Yoon. Alright guys, as always, thick you.